Hi, my name is Lauren, and today we're going to talk about what is seasonal affective disorder. Have you ever experienced depressive symptoms during fall and winter, but noticed that this feeling goes away when the weather warms and days get longer? This phenomenon is known as seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD. Sometimes SAD is called winter depression since it is most prominent in the winter when days are shortest. SAD is also recurring and tends to happen every year in about 5% of the population that it affects. Individuals diagnosed with SAD can have typical symptoms associated with depression, including low mood, decreased interest in activities, lack of energy, and decreased concentration. SAD can also increase craving of carbohydrates, cause weight gain, and increase fatigue, as well as cause excessive sleeping. Neurons are the messengers of electric signals in our brain that receive, process, and transmit information through chemical and electrical signals. These signals are passed between connections called synapses, which are gaps between two nerve cells. These neurons tend to be synced up with the environment in order to tell our bodies what time of day it is and how to function and behave accordingly, including the influences on our mood. This is where our internal clock, or circadian rhythm, comes into play. It is our circadian rhythm's job to help regulate biological and behavioral processes influencing every part of our daily life. This includes telling us when to eat, sleep, and wake up. So when this process is disturbed, our bodies tend to reflect that. One possible explanation for the reason why SAD occurs is that circadian rhythm is disturbed when the length of day changes. There's also a mismatch that occurs between the sleeping and waking cycle of our body and the endogenous circadian pacemaker, which functions as a time scale to measure body rhythms at 24 hours. Most of circadian rhythm is based on sunlight. The retina of eyes contain photoreceptors called rods and cones, transferring the light we see into signals that our brain measures. The endogenous circadian pacemaker is light sensitive, and a gene called the cryptochrome gene is involved as a photoreceptor to help measure this light to regulate rhythm. This information is translated into the hypothalamus, where sleep, emotional activity, along with other autonomic nervous system functions are controlled. This is the part of the nervous system that you don't have to think about, like breathing, circulating blood, or digesting food. Within the hypothalamus is the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which controls our circadian rhythms. This is where the input of sunlight sends signals to other pathways to regulate hormone levels. Melatonin, a hormone naturally produced in the brain, helps to regulate wakefulness. It regulates the cycle of sleeping and waking and tells your body when it's time to go to bed. Melatonin levels increase when the days get shorter and darker, changing the rhythm of sleep and can increase symptoms of depression. In people with SAD, high levels of melatonin are seen during the daytime, and secretion of melatonin in the brain during the winter are for longer periods of time compared to secretion in other seasons. Serotonin levels in the hypothalamus also change with the seasons and circadian disturbance and are decreased in the winter season. Serotonin is a chemical and neurotransmitter found in the body that regulates mood and behavior, as well as appetite and sleep. High concentrations of serotonin are associated with happiness and good feelings, while low levels of serotonin are linked to depression. So when serotonin levels go down, you go down with them. There are some risk factors for having SAD, as more people are likely to develop it than others. SAD appears to be genetic, and it is more likely to be seen in individuals when a relative also has the disorder. Females are more likely than males to experience SAD, although men can have more severe symptoms. Some studies have suggested that the further north of the equator, the more likely an individual will experience SAD due to the shorter periods of daylight. It is also more common in people who have a history of depression, in which case the risks are increased. Disruption in circadian rhythm can also influence occupational and social impairment when mood changes are caused. Luckily, there are numerous treatments for SAD that can help you to get to feeling like your normal self. Medications that help increase serotonin levels, called SSRIs, have been shown to decrease symptoms of SAD. Getting more exposure to natural light helps our bodies combat the effects of circadian rhythm disturbance and helps hormone levels become more regulated, as does bright light or light box therapy under the supervision of a physician, which is known to be effective. Bright light therapy requires an individual to sit in front of a light box for 30 to 90 minutes each day. However, UV, tanning lamps, and regular lights will not produce the same effects. Even 30 minutes a day of sunlight can reduce the symptoms of SAD. Outdoor exercise can also help to mediate serotonin levels. All of these treatments help the brain restore neurochemical balance. Researchers are only beginning to understand the role that circadian rhythm has on our bodies. In fact, it was just in 2017 that the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded to 3 scientists for their discoveries of molecular mechanisms controlling the circadian rhythm. And by understanding SAD, we can hope to utilize this knowledge to improve our health and our quality of life.